Top free agent scout reports for Soccer Manager 2023. So you can save time scouting the players and you can check the scout reports here. First, we have the highest 82 rated 34-year-old past his prime. Joseph may not be worth the buy. The player is quite loyal, sometimes handles pressure well, and is highly driven and ambitious. Next, we have Json, 82-year-old defender who's 27 years old. He still has the potential to go up a couple of points to 84. It's worth a buy. The player is quite loyal, always handles pressure well, and is highly driven and ambitious. Next, we have Mario Fernandez, 81 rated defensive midfielder right. The 31-year-old is past his prime. It's worth it only to use him for 1 year and then you can sell him after a year. The player is highly professional and loyal, always handles pressure well, and is fairly ambitious. Next, we have Zeka, 81 rated central midfielder who's 27 years old. The player can still improve a couple of points and he's worth a buy. The player is highly professional and loyal, sometimes handles pressure well, and is fairly ambitious. Next, we have Adele, 79 rated attacking midfielder who's 33 years old. The player is past his prime and won't improve further. Doesn't seem worth it to buy him. The player is quite loyal, sometimes handles pressure well, and is fairly ambitious. Next, we have Nikola, 78 rated central defender who's 30 years old and is past his prime. The player will not improve more, but it's okay to use him for a year and then sell him since he's a free agent. The player is quite loyal, he always handles pressure well and is fairly ambitious. Next, we have William, 78 rated defensive midfielder right who's 27 years old. The player has the potential to improve his rating just by 1. A decent player to buy to use for a couple of years. The player is highly professional and loyal, sometimes handles pressure well, and is fairly ambitious. Next, we have Dan Axel, 78 rated central defender who's 23 years old and has a lot of potential to improve. One of the best buys as a free agent. He can go up to a rating of 88. As a young free agent, he is really worth buying. The player is highly professional and loyal, sometimes handles pressure well, and is fairly ambitious. Next, we have Santiago Arias, defensive midfielder right, 30-year-old, will not improve anymore. An okay buy to use for 1 year and then sell. The player is quite loyal. The player always handles pressure well and is fairly ambitious. And last, we have Edgar, 77 rated central defender who's 28 years old and a potential to improve further. The player has a potential to go up 3 more ratings to 80. The player is worth buying to use for a year or 2 before selling him. The player is highly professional and loyal. The player always handles pressure well and is fairly ambitious. Do support this small channel with a like and a subscribe.